back. I told y'all I would be back. It's been a crazy week. Not gonna lie, it's been a crazy week. So excuse the look, I'm very casual tonight. I have been dealing with my first ever experience with poison ivy. 10 out of 10, do not recommend. Yeah. So, for those of you who follow me on the socials, you know that me and Grandma got into my mom's garden last Saturday, and we're helping her out, and I developed random little spots. It's not like a whole big rash. I think I might have even dealt with it better if it was, but little spots. And so I thought maybe the holly got a hold of me, and I even teased with Grandma. I was like, love stitching holly, absolutely hate messing with it. Things progressed over the week. By Friday, I was running a low-grade temp, and so yeah, my chief deputy's wife is a APRN over at the town that I work in, and so he set up an appointment with her and got on some medicine. Took a nap today after dealing with a whole nother situation, and woke up to some more spots. So not really sure what's happening, but yeah, do not recommend. So all that being said, I have gotten a lot of stitching done, especially this weekend. I decided that I was going to participate in Stitch the Olympics. So this is it's a fun little kind of guidance. It's hosted by the Naptime Stitcher, and so she gives you little prompts, and it's kind of cool. You can do things however you like. Most of you are probably familiar with how it works, so not a lot to go into. Let's see, family updates. The kiddos are doing good. I actually don't know where Erica is right now, so I think she's traveling to see some friends. My son and his wife got a new puppy this weekend. I think they named her Honey Biscuit, and she's adorbs. And my middle daughter and her family went to Florida for the weekend, so they just got back today, and they had a good time. She came in with a sunburn, of course, because she's a nurse and sunscreen doesn't affect her, I guess. I don't know. Bless her heart. She did come in hurting. So, anyways, they had fun. So, I have been watching Virgin River with Annie since we finished our other series, and kind of chilling out and doing some cross stitching, and that's what we're going to look at tonight. It's not going to be a long show. I thought about doing my whips, but I'm just not feeling it tonight. So, and I don't really want y'all to have to deal with all that. Alright, so I started on the Summer Olympics thing maybe Friday night, I think is when I just randomly, I think I texted Aunt Donna and said, yeah, this is fixing to happen. So I think it was Friday night, and then, yeah, it was, because I was up late Friday night, and then I was finally able to sleep a little bit Saturday night. So, yeah. So the first day's prompt, and I did them backwards, but I'm going to show you in order. The 726 prompt was opening ceremony, and it was a new start, or something that you started in 2024. I chose a new start, and I'm doing I Am Enough by Emily Call Stitching. I'm not sure if her Etsy is back up. I think she went on vacation, so she had taken it down. Y'all excuse my nails. I just took off all of the past manicure because it had outgrown itself, and I haven't redone them, so there's a little remnant of that left. So I am stitching this on Cedar River Albarium 32 count, and I'm using Color and Cotton, I Love You, You Idiot. That is part of the Gilmore Girls collection that came out, I don't know, a couple of years ago maybe. And this is my start. So I got a nice little go in there. Of course, I'm doing 1/2. And this is the floss. It's a beautiful green variegated. Usually don't do greens, but I felt like with all of the florals, it fit. So that's what I'm doing. I usually do blue, yeah. Excuse the mess on the bed. I am also going to talk to you about that one day. A friend of mine, her mom had passed and she had a whole bunch of quilting supplies. And she asked me, could I use them? I said, hey, if I can't use them, can I share them? She said, of course. So I have a friend who's going to come over and get some of it, but then I'm going to share the rest with you guys. The 27th was Parade of Nations, and so it was Stitch Something Patriotic for Any Country. Well, of course, we know that I had to pull out Lady of the Flag. She's still in her Q snap, so I'm not going to pull out, but this is what I got done. I did have to frog a little bit over here. Go ahead and gasp with me. This stressed me out because, of course, I'm here at the bottom. I'm hanging out at the bottom here, and this is all of the fabric that I have left. And so I called Aunt Donna today and I told her this story. I was doing this late. I did 2 hours on this because I wanted to get more done, and then the frog happened. And so I realized how close I am to the bottom, and then there's still a whole Liberty thing that has to go here, and then there's stuff under it. I counted and recounted, and I am at the very bottom, but I'm okay. I don't know how I got off on the measurement because I remember starting her in my color, because I'm doing it twice, you know, once for mom and once for myself. I remember starting and being so careful to count when I split the fabric, because I did center start. I don't know. I know at one point there was a possible misprint on the fabric, so I'm not sure if that was a piece of it or if I'm just that off. But I'm absolutely certain at this point that it's going to come down to the bottom. I have enough room to frame it, and I'm going to make it a tight frame. Like, it's going to be the Constitution at the top, and it's going to go all the way to the bottom and be done. So, because one day that will be in my office. So yeah, it was a heart attack waiting to happen. On the 28th, the prompt was Stitch Something Related to Summer. And so I instantly went to one of my PNPS magazines, and this is called Summer Sampler. This is a Twin Peaks. I'm doing this on Ada with 930. And so I worked on some alphabet. I think I did put in the 2 keys too, so the alphabet and the 2 keys. So that was fun. Most of these I worked an hour on. I would turn on Flosstube and Brain, and I would watch, you know, something that was close to an hour, sometimes a few minutes over. There was a couple of projects that it was like, okay, I need some longer talking, so, because I needed some more time on it. The next one, was Olympic rings, and it was Stitch something from, something with the color from the Olympic rings, which is blue, yellow, black, green, and red. So I went for my favorite color, and I pulled out a Long Dog Sampler crossword, which hasn't seen any attention for a minute. That was one thing that I wanted to do this for, was to give some things attention that I just haven't spent time on. Because, you know, I have so many whips, and they're all so good, and they need attention. So, this is where I got with her. I love that blue. And I love the intricate details of a long dog. It's a lot of counting, of course. That is done in 792. But the details are just, that's what makes a long dog. somebody, oh, Christy Rom said that she needed to do one. I was like, let's go, sis. It's just a lot of detailing. On the 30th was swimming, and it was something to do with water, or stitch something with water. I don't have water projects, so I went for a project that I'm doing for my dad. I'm not going to show you a lot of detail here. I'm going to show you what I did. Because I actually got upset about it, because, y'all be careful, I had gone to Etsy and I asked Daddy what he wanted me to stitch, because he really likes eagles. And he asked me if I would do something, and I wanted to do something, and so I gave him a couple of options, and he chose Silent Flight on Etsy. And it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's a full coverage piece, and I was like, but I want to do it for him. So I was trying to do some research this weekend to look at a picture, because I wanted to see specifically what I was looking at, because I had a blanket that I was stitching on, because this is 18 count. It was a huge piece of fabric my sister had gotten me a long time ago, and I wanted to cut it down so it was more manageable. And so I went looking for this picture, and unfortunately I found that this is actually a Dimensions piece that I guess had been pirated. Text Aunt Donna, I mean, completely just upset, and I was like, I need to buy the actual like pattern now, because, you know, hello. And and I think I need to anyway, because there's some discrepancies in the key. So that happened. But I went ahead and stitched all the way over to the right, because I don't trust my counting and my measuring sometimes. And so this is what I got done. I flew all the way over from here to here. I had started here, I was going to go down, and then I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this bath sheet. And so I ran over to the right, and so that's what I got done. And I did spend like 3.5 probably hours on that. But I have many friends in the cross-stitch business part of the business who don't need their pattern stolen. So please be careful when you're on Etsy, because that happens a lot. And I do feel bad because, you know, I didn't buy an honest piece. So the next prompt was cycling on the 31st, and it's stitched with something that contains something round. Again, words. I didn't pick a round piece, but a pumpkin feels pretty round. So I pulled out Quaker Pumpkin. Because it's fall and I needed some fall stitching. And I watched the two Sarahs. I haven't been telling y'all who all I watched, but sorry. I think I'll tag everybody in the video. I tagged them in my Instagram as I watched them. So I got all of this bottom done, and I got these two done. These were already done. I think there was a leaf on each side that maybe I finished. So I got a little bit done there. That was fun. And it was the first time to watch the two Sarahs together, stitching with the Sarahs. And they were super fun to watch. Allergic reactions stink. And my uncle, he seems to think that because I'm not reacting the same way that he did to poison ivy, that it's not poison ivy. Little does he know. Sorry, Uncle Gary. Ugh. Like, I just feel like I'm fixing to go into a part 2 of this reaction because I'm not feeling the best. It'll be alright. Alright. The next one, 8-1, was called Marathon. It was stitched on one of your oldest whips. This was fun because I knew what I wanted to do. I have some older whips. I couldn't think of what was my absolute oldest right now, but I have, you know, quite a few pieces over there. One day we'll go through that. But I texted Aunt Donna and I said, hey, how long were you working on waiting before you gave it to me? And she said she couldn't remember. And there's a note on the pattern, which she had written herself a note to redo some parts, which I have done. And it was dated on August something of 2019. So we're going to call that a 2019 piece. But I worked on weighting, and I got more of this area done here. This is living in this Q-snap just because it's got it perfectly taut, and I'm not going to mess with it. So I'm super excited to get down to here, but I also want to get this done. I don't have a picture of it. I've posted a picture before. I don't have a picture to show y'all. This is still available on Amazon. It is a handwritten pattern. Like, it's not young. So, but I do love this, and I'm looking forward to getting it done for Uncle Gary. My plan is for Christmas. So I told Aunt Donna I'm going to try to focus on that in August and probably September too. And then the next was 8-2 beach. I thought I got out of order. Beach volleyball. Stitch something with more than one person. I saw lots of people doing lots of different interpretations of that. Some were doing whips. Some were doing actual more than one person in the pattern. I chose to do Cross Stitch Nation, and this is a Beth Twist design. And what I did was worked on this border down here, and I decided, because I was like, am I going to put in 2024? Am I finishing it this year? What's going to happen? And I decided to do 2021 because that's when I started doing floss tubes. So I belong to the Cross Stitch Flosstube Nation. So that's what I did, and that was fun. I'm not one to veer off from the pattern. Like I tend to do what the pattern says. Occasionally, I'll change up colors. If there's not a DMC conversion, I'll go ahead and convert it to DMC because that's what I have stashed in. I do have a few, you know, fancy flosses, but mostly it's DMC. And, but for that, you know, I needed to make it fit something for me. And she includes a whole letter and number situation. So I went with that, and that was fun. 8-3, the prompt was for rowing. Stitch something with a row of something or with a border. Well, it's almost fall, and I was feeling kind of Halloween-y that particular time. So I started Steampunk Penelope. This is one of Annie's pieces, and I didn't know what I was going to stitch this on, but I came in here and I looked in my stash, and I chose a piece that I had actually tea-dyed 2 years ago maybe, and it started out being, I think, 14 count Ada, but it shrunk, so it's now like 18, but that's where I got. I put in a little over half the border, and then I started up on the eave because I wanted to do words, because words are fun. So I'm going to do both her and Percival on this fabric, and I'm excited to get them done. And I did make a modification there too because she had plum. She had a color picked out to be the DMC, and I chose 3041 because I didn't have the other color. And 3041 was definitely an option because DMC conversions. It's a pretty color. I'm putting everything back in bags so I don't have to clean it back up after a while. Shameless plug because this is my channel. For those of you who don't know, I am trying to work my business again. So I will be on my socials doing a lot of that. So feel free to head over there. 8-4, Olympic Village. Stitch something with a house or building. So you get to see another Annie piece. I don't have a lot of building pieces going on right now. I asked Aunt Donna, I was like, what am I going to do? And she thought of Annie too. So I went to my Annie stash and pulled Winter Sampler because I already had it started. And so I finished the house part and put in the windows here. It was only an hour. I need more time on that. But I got that. And that catches me up to today. So tomorrow, it says stitch something choreographed by your favorite designer. I don't know yet what I'm going to do tomorrow. Aunt Donna asked me, she was like, well, who's your favorite designer? And I was like, well, it just depends on what day we're talking about. Of course, I love my friends. I have a whole little shelf of, you know, people I actually know, their projects. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. So, then on, I'm saying a lot, I'm sorry. This is not being prepared 101. Earlier this week, I just wasn't feeling good, of course, and so I sat down to watch something. I don't remember what I was watching. And I just decided that I was going to pull some easy stitching, which is letters for me. And so a long time ago, Nancy from the Bougie Stitchers and I had talked about doing a Wicked piece together. We love to play Wicked. And so we went to Etsy and she picked out this pattern. I picked out a bunch of patterns and just sent it to her. I was like, you pick. So she picked out this pattern. I don't have a picture of it, but it is the lyrics to For Good. No, there's not a picture here. And all it says is, because I knew you, I've been changed for good. And of course it's in the classic Wicked green. So I was looking forward to getting that worked on. And I'm not sure if she's had time to start hers. She's got so many things going. But I can't wait to work on that again because I do love letters. And because, you know, it means a lot. So that's on Black Ada. And it's being stitched in a called for 3348. So I worked on that. And last week I showed y'all my, I think I did, Jesus picture. I did. I remember showing it. And so I worked some more on it this weekend to get more done. I got all of that, like a manual up, done. This is a super easy stitch. And I will probably take it back to work with me because I can work on that during lunch. If nobody bothers me, which they usually don't. And, yeah. I can get that done because I can't remember if she said she wanted me to give it to him for his birthday or Christmas. But regardless, they're both coming fast. So I need to get it done so I can get it framed. What are my plans? Well, tomorrow I'm going to stitch something choreographed by my favorite designer, which I still don't know yet. Then on 8/6, stitch something with an animal. I don't know that I have anything with animals right now. Oh, I can always go back to Penelope. Yeah, she's a bird. I hadn't thought about actually duplicating, but I guess I can. And then 8/7 is stitch something that is part of a SAL or recommended to you by another stitcher. I have SALs all over the place. Oh, you know what? Tomorrow is the start of Annie's SAL. Do I have one of those over here? I don't, and it's put up. I'll show that next week. Annie's strawberry plant, the newest one, that starts tomorrow. And then weightlifting, stitch something you can't wait to work on. So that'll probably be Lady of the Flag. I adore her. And then 8, 9, stitch toward your goal on any piece. So that'll probably be Jesus again because I do need to get him finished. 8, 10, stitch something that is part of a series. Well, I do have all the new U's from Annie's, so I could do that, or I could do Sunday stitches, or I could do, there's a lot, so we'll figure that out. And then 8, 11, closing ceremony, stitch something you plan to complete in 2024. You know, I really hadn't thought about doubling up, but I guess that's probably what I'm going to do. I'll probably do Jesus again. We'll see. I'll let y'all know next week. Okay, so that's that. I have nothing new to show you, except all that stuff back there. I may come into another craft. I was talking to Aunt Donna and Grandma today about maybe quilting project bags, because learning to quilt would be interesting. I've never done it, and I'm thinking hand quilting would probably be easier for me than sewing machine, because sewing machine, I can't make straight lines on a sewing machine. In TBH, it kind of frustrates me because I can't seem to make straight lines. So, we'll see. It may or may not happen. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and end it with that. That's a short video, but that's okay too. And I hope that everybody has a fabulous week, that you can get some fun stitching in, that you can relax a little bit. I know here in Arkansas it is going to be hot, 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 so I don't know what the rest of the country holds. Praying for our Floridian friends and all of those who are going to be impacted by the storm landing tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow, Monday. I just hope that everybody's safe and that we hear from everybody pretty soon. I think last year everybody checked in pretty fast. I know I text Chrissy and Linda, and I think I messaged EJ maybe. I can't remember if I reached out to Shelia. But, I mean, we have a lot of people down there, of course. But those were people that I just instantly, like, where the heck are you? Because I am not familiar with Florida, you know, land. But, anyways, so let's just keep them all in prayers and hope that everything kind of stays calmer than, you know, it could be. Until next week, I will see you guys soon. I love you all. Take care of yourself and happy stitching.